Hi, hi guys, I wanted to get back on here because I noticed in my last stream apparently my mic has been muted, and well, since I'm at the end of God of War Ragnarok, I wanted to get on here and uh, show off the things that I noticed. And if you guys want any information on how to get the platinum, I'll be more than willing to help you, explain the trophies. But also, I wanted to vent a little bit about, an issue I've been having while I'm playing PlayStation. Most people don't realize that I'm a girl player, and so when guys find this out, they tend to not understand that it's playing the game and just having conversation. It's not an excuse to flirt with me, nor, try to get my number, because I'm just playing the game and having conversation on chat. It's not really. If we become friends, great. If not, oh well. I'm having this problem that when I talk to a guy for a little bit on a group chat, there's always that one guy that tends to become, we started being friends, and he was a really good guy, and I'm not going to go into his name or anything like that. But he would say things that I would take very, he was always the type that he would say things and be like, "Oh, I'm playing, haha, I'm joking." But he said a few things to me that were kind of something you wouldn't say to someone you barely know. And it was sort of like smart aleck comments of like. Then I want to do a quick PSA on this one phrase, period. Just to mention this. If you don't know me in real life, please don't address me as though we're your best friends and that you feel like you can say something that would be considered. There's a difference between joking and not knowing me. There's a difference between joking and not knowing me well enough to think that we have that kind of rapport with one another, because you do not have the right to be say things to me, and maybe we had become too it had become a common thing for us to talk so often that he felt that it was okay to joke like that with me, and I was playing my game, and for all those who don't know, one of the trophies to get in God of War Ragnarok, which thanks to a lovely person that I play with on PlayStation, he actually helped me finish certain things in the platinum through, because a lot of people don't know that I play with one hand, and this platinum from God of War didn't have a difficulty associated with it. It just said get all the trophies, and you didn't have to get them on hard or God of War, necessarily mode. You just had to get all the trophies. But by that time, my hand was gone, and most people don't know I play with one hand. So my joints and my wrists were hurting so bad that I was lucky enough to come across a really nice guy, separate from the one that I was having issues with. And this really nice guy helped me finish certain things. 3 things left in the platinum, but I did the vast majority of it myself. He helped me with the last 2 fights and one of the challenges, because I couldn't push the button fast enough. But like I wanted to say that, just be mindful of, going back to the other issue I had with someone else. Just be mindful of the fact that just because you talk to someone on PlayStation, they're being kind to you, taking time out of their day to speak to you and have conversation with you and treat you nice. Do not, number one, necessarily because, in my case, I'm a female gamer, do not misconstrue me being nice and having conversation with you as anything other than me being nice having conversation with you. If I were to address you outside of a PlayStation and we swap numbers to that degree, then you might consider that, then this is going beyond playing a game together or talking. But, and please, and something I've learned in this previous experience, please do not pressure someone into constantly buying a certain game over and over and over. I understand that's part of PlayStation and you want to share games that you play and you like. But if someone really says to you, no, I just don't think that game is for me, don't sit there and be like, well, you must play this game. And he was finding people to help me, or he was like requesting people to help me for the God of War thing, but a lovely player actually ended up helping me with it. And there was a comment made to me aside from the initial comment that upset me. He was being he made a comment to me that to me I consider very inappropriate, because I guess he thought because we'd been talking for a while that he could call me a spoiled brat. And in his response, he was like, I'm kidding, I'm joking. To me, I would never joke like that to my friends. I would never call them a spoiled brat. That's not funny to me. To be considered a joke, I would have to deliver something that me and you would both laugh at. And number two, please, as a PSA to all players out there, if someone says to you, like, if you tell them about a game and they say, no, that game's really not up my alley, and I don't really want to play it, it's too scary, I don't play scary games, or anything of that nature, please don't sit there. I had made a comment to this person that I was talking to. I'm not going to say his name. But I had made a comment to him that I was getting tattooed this coming week. And he literally said to me, if you have money to get tattooed, you have money to buy this game. What I do with my money is my business. Please understand that we are just people that play on PlayStation. For you to say that to me is like, and I realize that maybe there are some people that just naturally are, well, overbearing, shall I say. And don't really realize they're being that way. But if you're playing with somebody on PlayStation and they're telling you about a game, that's fine. We all share games we like, and maybe you guys will like this. But I never badger somebody about, you have to buy this. You have to buy this. You have to buy this. No, I don't have to buy anything, especially when I was nice enough to express to you that that something, a game like that's not up my alley. I don't really... For those who don't know me, I don't play scary games. I've never been into jump scares. I don't play things like that. So understand there is a PlayStation etiquette to me that is not being used in PlayStation. If I share something with you, just know that's in conversation. We play on PlayStation. If I really don't know you outside of this platform, please do not think that you can address me a certain way. And I understand that I'm a girl gamer and you may be a guy gamer, but unless we're exchanging phone numbers or email addresses, trust me, you're probably not going to become my, you know, crush or my love interest or whatever you perceive. So, kind of having a problem with that. Either men get attached to me or they just want to like. Well, also there is a problem of people will say certain things to you and not realize that they're coming off offensive. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out because whatever realm I live in, there are certain things that have been said to me on PlayStation that I wouldn't even say to my friends. I would never go up to my friend and be like, and this person was like jokingly, and he said to me, he said, right now you're being a spoiled brat. And I'm literally on PlayStation to get this trophy so I can get off. And then the night before I literally got on to, there were hours I was on PlayStation where I wasn't even playing just because he was on PlayStation. He wanted someone to talk to. I offered my services. I sat there and talked to him till 12:30 at night, and then the next day you call me a spoiled brat. And keep in mind, he did apologize, and I did accept his apology, but that warranted me to feel like I needed to put a PSA out on YouTube that just because I'm a girl gamer and you happen to be a guy and we talk on PlayStation, unless you know me like that and unless we have a built rapport with each other, that you feel that kind of talk with me is okay and I've told you that's okay, then don't do it. Please don't do it. Talk to me as though you would talk to someone you barely knew. You wouldn't say that to someone you barely knew. And also, again, let me address, do not, you can tell a PlayStation player like, oh, I love this game, you ought to look at it and try it out, because I have done that. I have, on a friend's recommendation, I have YouTubed the game and looked at it and see whether I would like it. But, that being said, do not sit there and badger someone about buying this game. You have to buy this game. Because, quite frankly, no, I don't. And to be honest, most of the time I'm talking to people on PlayStation just to have general good conversation while I'm playing the game. It would be like me on the phone. Say I was on the phone with a classmate from high school. We're just talking to have a good conversation with each other. Odds are we will just be PlayStation friends. There are a couple people, and there are a couple people that I'm lucky enough to actually go beyond the platform with, and are Facebook friends of mine, and we've become dear friends. For instance, I have a dear friend that I used to play Destiny with that's also a female gamer. And me and her created this friendship outside of PlayStation that I do keep up with her on Facebook, and we do comment on each other's posts and things. So, but if I don't share my real name with you, and I don't give you my phone number and email, please respect that. Understand that this is just, us talking to kill the time between the time we're playing. So, and understand there are certain people that have boundaries, and you are not to break those boundaries. And I understand, here's the problem. I'm getting a lot of those guys who, let's say a guy says, well, I feel bad, I don't have anyone to talk to. And out of the kindness of my heart, I will talk to you and give you some of my time, maybe an hour or two, and we'll sit there and talk, because I'm doing that out of the kindness of my heart, okay? Don't sit there and misconstrue that, please. Because I don't want there to be any more miscommunication. If I talk with you on PlayStation, it's either because I think you're a cool person and I'm killing time while I'm killing this boss or finishing this quest. But if it doesn't go beyond that, unless we've exchanged phone numbers, email addresses, please respect that that's not going any further than that. because I've had that problem with guys that I play on PlayStation with. And then because we talk for more than maybe 1 or 2 days, they feel they have this rapport with me that they can sort of speak to me any kind of way. And I basically got the first. I was lucky enough, like I said, and this is aside from the person that helps me finish the platinum. Kudos to him. He was great. He was one of the few people I enjoyed playing the game with and talking to because he was very nice and helped me out of the kindness of his heart and was willing to help me with certain things in the game. Kudos to him. I would give his name, but for privacy reasons, I wouldn't want to do that in case he doesn't want his screen name put out on YouTube. And that's also why I'm not sharing the other guy's name that I've had problems with. Out of respect for them, I'm not sharing their screen names. But to the guy that helped me with the PlayStation trophy, like, he'll never know, like, that meant a lot to me that he was one to just help me with the game and talk to me while we were playing. There wasn't any extra pressure of, like, him talking to me inappropriately. And, I start to see that, there are some people you play with on PlayStation that don't realize that they're being a certain way that makes a woman feel uncomfortable. And whether you're lonely or not, please understand there's PlayStation etiquette to me. And like, just because I talk to you while I play the game, unless I give you my phone number or my email address, it's probably not going to go anywhere beyond that. So, and if I'm talking to you, it's probably out of the kindness of my heart. And because, we have to talk to each other. We're playing a game. So, most of the time I'm talking to somebody, either just because I really like talking to you, or, while we play a game, or, you just seem like a cool guy to talk to. But because also I want to follow the same rule that says, I don't go and ask me, like, as a woman who plays PlayStation, I don't go and send guys pictures of myself unless they ask for one. And I will do it out of the kindness of my heart because they've given me a picture of themselves. But understand, it's just a picture. Because unless I give you my phone number, you're not going to become outside of this platform for me. And the only reason I'm, talking to you is to be nice and kind. Do not mistake someone being nice and kind for someone trying to get with you. Because if someone were trying to build something with you, they would give you their phone number. And also, again, I want to say, number 2, on PlayStation, if you like a game, more power to you. But don't badger people into buying a game that they don't want to buy. Flat out. Just don't. I mean, it got to the point when those last couple of days I was talking to the other guy, not the one that helped me with my platinum, but the other one, that I finally left the group we were talking in because, well, I just got to where I was like, it made me feel uncomfortable, and it made me feel like, okay, you're kind of after more than just us friends and us talking. And he kept saying, I'm sorry for what I said. I'm sorry. And I forgave him. But then at that point, I wanted to get off PlayStation because I was done with the conversation. And he was like, well, let's just keep talking then. Well, I said, I originally got on here just to have a conversation with you. And he's like, well, then let's do that then. You can't force someone to talk to you that doesn't want to. And in that moment, I wanted to get off and, like, and it got to where I was like, no, I'm just going to leave the group because I'm not going to deal with it. I mean, for whatever issues he for whatever he was going through, which I'm not going into, I felt for him as a person. But beyond that, it wasn't going to go anywhere, sorry. But understand that sometimes when a girl's playing a game with you, or a PlayStation game, she may just be talking to you because you seem like a cool dude and y'all could talk while you were playing video games. Unless the girl is asking you for your phone number, please don't misconstrue it as anything else. And do not think you have the rapport with me to speak any kind of way, because I'm clear to say that you don't. You don't know me that well to be able to speak to me that way. My best friends can speak to me any kind of way they wish as long as they're respectful. But you cannot. For future people I might meet on PlayStation, if you make me feel from now on, anybody I play with, if you make me feel uncomfortable at any point in a conversation, I'm just gonna leave the group, because I'm not going to deal with the like, oh, he doesn't know he's being making me feel uncomfortable. And excusing it. I will no longer excuse it. So I just kind of wanted to make a PSA about that and say something about that, because and I'm only having problems with guys that I'm talking to on here. Unless I'm giving you my phone number, understand that we're just talking. It's just conversation while we play a video game. And I'll probably ask you things to get to know you, but I'll never ask you anything too personal. Because if I'm asking you something personal, that's not playing the game. Now, I may ask you where you're from, how's the weather like there, things like that. And we may, I remember the guy, kudos to him, the guy that helped me with my platinum for God of War Ragnarok. And I'm not going to give his username for privacy reasons for him. But, what's it called? He was sharing a stream of Elden Ring, his game, and I thought, wow, that kind of looks cool, and we spent hours just looking at, I was watching hours of him posting, he was doing a screen share, and so I was watching him beat Elden Ring bosses. But there again, that's within the confines of the game. Cool dude. I enjoyed, chatting with him. I will say to him, just me, he's the gold star of how to address anybody on PlayStation. Because we were just asking about the weather from where you live. There was no sort of, I guess, he was real cool. He never made me feel uncomfortable. He didn't ask me anything that's, that I didn't want to talk about. So I just want to address that. If anyone comes across this YouTube video, understand that not every girl necessarily has the same boundaries as you. So when she feels uncomfortable and she says, look, that made me angry that you said that to me, or you were being a little pushy there, respect her boundaries and just learn to just leave the group or be quiet. Because because if you don't, I will. I won't sit there and just let someone, and I understand the person that I had issues with thought we had built this rapport that he could sort of talk to me that way, but there are limits to things, and it's not like you're my best friend, and it's not like we knew each other outside of PlayStation. We didn't have each other's phone numbers. We didn't call each other. I didn't come visit you. So obviously that's not outside of the realm of this platform. So understand there are guidelines of etiquette with PlayStation. And with my rules and my standards, I just wanted to say that from now on, anybody that comes across me in PlayStation, if I feel uncomfortable, I won't say anything to you. I will just leave our group and will no longer send messages to you, because I understand that you, like, a guy may make a mistake and make you mad and then spend 3 days sending, like, I'm sorry messages. But, at that point, it started to make me feel uncomfortable, because then you're addressing your sort of, you're not talking to me like a PlayStation friend. You're talking to me like, like we really know each other. And I'm not like that. So I wanted to talk about my guidelines also as well on PlayStation. Because anybody, aside from the people that I'm friends with, and aside from the person that helped me with my PlayStation trophy kudos to him. He knows who he is. We have the coolest day following that, where I sat and watched him play Elden Ring and kill these like badass bosses. That's what I consider a great PlayStation friend. Somebody you can screen share with and be like, oh, I like this game, you have to see this boss. This is the proper way in the platform to speak to somebody. Because if you start involving me too much outside of the game, I'm going to assume you want something other than my friendship. So, and I'm just here to tell you, unless I ask you for your phone number or something, for any guy in future reference, please don't come at me like that. And if you share a game with me and I say, look, that game's really not up my alley, I don't really like horror games, don't sit there and tell a player that you have to buy this, you have to buy this. Like, I was constantly the whole day just being like, no, I don't. Because I was so frustrated because I was trying to beat this boss. And kudos to the person that helped me with my PlayStation Plat, because, he just helped me and we just talked, and there was no sort of weirdness or uncomfortableness, and I actually thought that he was a pretty good PlayStation player. Kudos to him. If he sees this video and he doesn't mind me giving his username, I may do that in future, but only if he allows it, because for his own personal privacy. But the guy that helped me with my plat, kudos to him. Did great. Was a great friend. Showed me some cool bosses in Elden Ring. He's a great player, so he happened to really help me with that. But like I said, I just wanted to address that because I'm having issues with people that I play on PlayStation with. Just because I'm a girl doesn't mean, and you're a guy, doesn't mean like I necessarily want your phone number or I'm trying to go out with you. If I ask your phone number, then that's on me. But honey, if I don't, and we don't call each other, I don't come see you, then it's not like that. Because there are certain things. I have long distance best friends who are like my family, and they know they would never speak. And they're my best friends. They're my family, and they wouldn't. And that's part of the issue of life. It's like someone will step over the line and will like immediately say they're sorry, but don't understand that that's part of the problem. Is because you don't know in our friendship or whatever conversation this is, you don't know where that line is. And you need to respect that line, that just because we're on PlayStation doesn't mean we're best friends, and doesn't mean that like you can talk to me any kind of way, because you can't. So, when you annoy me, I'm going to leave the group, and I'm just going, I wish this guy well, and I hope he gets what he wants out of life, and but, I don't feel comfortable with somebody who makes me feel uncomfortable when I'm talking to him. And I only started talking to him out of the kindness of my heart, because he was cool at first. He would tell everybody how, like, this is my friend's sweetheart, but then the last couple times we would talk, there were certain things that were said that I don't like, and I would never allow, even with somebody I barely knew. So I understand that I don't put up with things like that. So I just wanted to like address those things. It's like my rules and regulations for conduct as to playing with me and chatting on PlayStation. Don't hit on me. Don't be flirty. Don't never say to. And I realized partly it was my mistake, because I kind of divulged to the guy that I was talking to that like I'm getting a tattoo next week, like only in conversation. Like it was like I'm getting this new tattoo Wednesday, and like I just thought he was going to be like, okay, cool. And instead it was like, well, if you can afford a tattoo, you can afford this game. Because I was getting frustrated with this certain boss and God of War Ragnarok. And And at the time, I was looking for somebody to join with me. You know, again, kudos to the person that did help me. He was great. Um, and he ended up making the comment of, "You're being a spoiled brat." And I was like, and as I'm sitting there and as I'm hearing him say that to me, I'm just like, "What?" And he's like, "Ha ha ha, that's so funny. I'm being funny. I was trying to cheer you up because you're getting flustered with that boss." In no way, shape, or form would any person with any sort of mental capacity would ever think that was funny. Sorry. You could never go to somebody and be like, "You're being a spoiled brat," and they're like, "Ha ha, that's so funny you say that." So I didn't really understand where that was, but, you know. But like I said, from now on, if you make me feel uncomfortable, I'm deleting you. Kudos to the person that helped me with my plat. I may later, but I'll have to ask him if, if he wants me to share his name, but I'm not going to right now for privacy reasons. I don't know, his user. I mean, I don't want to do that because he was kind enough to help me, so I'm probably not going to do that unless he allows me to, unless he says it's okay. But then again, like, walking around in this game, I just wanted to share that. Um, so yeah, see you guys.